Hey plant lovers, today I'm going to be sharing some updates with you, what's been going on in my plant collection. First I wanted to show you how amazingly this coleus is doing. Look at all those new leaves coming in. This is one that I planted all a load of plants in the same pot, and yeah, it's looking really stunning. We've got all sorts of beautiful colours coming out on this one, so I'm really happy with how that one's going. And the leaves on this one are so velvety. It's just putting out so much growth at the moment. It seems really happy, and it's lovely to have a splash of colour around. So unfortunately, my variegated umbrella plant, it ended up having root rot, and I ended up having to chop and prop it, and this is basically the only piece that's left. I did have some other bits that I tried to propagate, but they didn't go well. This one does seem to be rooting, so I'm just hoping that it might be okay. But yeah, I think maybe this is another plant that had root rot when I bought it, and I just didn't notice. It happens. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to save this one. As I say, this is the only bit that I've actually got left, so we'll see what happens. And another one that's growing really well for me is this one. And I did end up actually potting up a bunch of propagations into here, but see these tallest growth points here? These are coming from where I took some cuts, and it's just growing so bushy and lush. Yeah, it's really cool, and yeah, all the new little cuttings that I've popped in there are growing really well as well, and it's just a really fun plant. I love the pinkness of it. And I'm finding if you give it a little bit more sun, it brings out the pink a little more, which is kind of nice. If I show you on the leaves here, when they first come in, they're kind of almost a lot pinker, and then they fade out to more of a green colour. But yeah, I love this plant. It's a nice cheery one. I have it in the kitchen where it can get really good bright indirect light all the time, but yeah, I'm definitely a huge fan of this one. And yeah, it's one of those plants that lets you know when it's thirsty. It kind of droops a bit, so I do like a plant that is quite vocal and lets me know when it wants water. I try not to let it get to the point of being droopy, but it's always nice to have a little bit of a sign, isn't it? This is my philodendron pink princess, and since I popped this one on the pole, it does seem to be liking growing up it. It has actually been stuck on a leaf though for some time. I don't know if you can see there. It has a stuck leaf, and it's been on that one for some time now, but it is coming out, and it will eventually come out. I'm just going to leave it, but yeah, this isn't exactly my favourite plant, but as I've said before, I kind of find it interesting, and I definitely won't be helping that leaf out, because every time I do that it just comes out really gnarly. But yeah, it does seem to be enjoying the support. The variegation is very unstable. I think we all know that by now, but yeah, definitely, as I say, not on my top of my favourites list, but it's kind of interesting. My Dieffenbachia has now lost its flower. The flower came to the end of its life and fell off, and despite Google telling me that the plant would then die off and go into decline, it's doing absolutely fine. So never listen to Google. Yeah, it's doing fine. It's growing lots of new leaves. Not only has it not died, it hasn't declined either. It's absolutely fine. So I just let the flower do its thing. I didn't do anything to it. I just waited till it kind of drooped off, and then I kind of gave it a little bit of a helping hand once it had completely kind of gone brown. And yeah, it seems fine. It hasn't declined in any way at all, and it's putting out lots of new leaves. So if you have a Dieffenbachia that flowers and you look it up online, it looks like it's fine. Maybe some of them decline afterwards, but I can say mine certainly didn't. It seems absolutely fine. Bit of a sad one next. This is my Syngonium albo. That's all that's left of it. You can see that most of it has kind of died off, and yeah, I still have that one leaf there. So I am just keeping it for now under a cover. I've just popped it out to show you, because you never know, this one here might be okay, but yeah, the rest of them are looking a bit sad. But if it dies, you know, it obviously just wasn't meant to be, was it? I can always just get one another time. It obviously wasn't meant to be right now, but maybe this one will take off, who knows. Let's see if we've got any roots coming out. Can't see any roots coming out, but that one looks okay. And sometimes they kind of put out another growth point, so who knows. That leaf does look like it might be about to turn though, so I don't know. But yeah, maybe it just wasn't meant to be for me, but I'm going to keep going with it. You never know. My Alocasia dragon scale has a little flower there. It's actually on its way out now. It's starting to go kind of brown, so it won't be there for much longer. I should have showed you a little bit before now, but yeah, it's on its decline now. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. It's still putting out new leaves. There's a new one there. So the flower hasn't stopped it from putting out leaves. It seems pretty happy. I'm really happy with this one. I just treat it the same as I do with my other alocasias, really. You know, make sure it gets plenty of light, don't let it dry out completely. And so far so good. And this was one that I was a bit nervous about, so yeah, bit of a weird little flower that, but you know, it's kind of interesting. Another slightly sad one is this Anthurium clarinervium. It did have thrips. It wasn't like a serious infestation, it was just a few, but it does seem like, I don't know whether this is down to the thrips, but it does seem like this leaf is about to go here. So yeah, I was kind of excited about being out of the 4-leaf club, but I'm about to go back into the 4-leaf club. Maybe this just isn't a plant that I have success with. Maybe it was the thrips. Let's have a look. Are there any more? I can't see any more. I have been keeping up with cleaning it and everything, but yeah, it just doesn't seem to be working for me. I don't know why, but it is what it is. So yeah, I'm about to be out of the 4-leaf club, and it doesn't appear to be growing another one. It did get an inflorescence, and I always think that an inflorescence could be a leaf until it comes out, and then I think, oh no, I didn't really want that, but I did cut it off. But even so, it still did not grow me another one, so that's okay. I maybe will have to wait until next season for a new leaf with this one now, but I've kind of just come to acceptance with this plant. It's not doing that well for me. I'm not really sure why, but maybe one day it will improve. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. Really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and hit that subscribe button. And until next time, guys, as always, take care of your plants and take care of yourself.